So y'all know how Walmart's been mysteriously closing. This is an abandoned Walmart. Now what does this look like to y'all?
A prison cell.
This is an abandoned Walmart, a closed down Walmart. What does it look like?
From the video, it kind of looks like a prison or some kind of a campground. It kind of looks weird.
Dogs are not natural. Where at on God's green earth do something like this got a place in nature? Or some shit like this? Do this look like Predator? Or if humans disappeared today, how would something like this survive in nature? That would lead me to believe that they genetically modified. Talking about man's best friend, that's man's only friend shit. Trust me, if them boy came across something like this, which is a real wolf, where probably all dogs came from, the wolf would eat it like it's nothing. A little snack or something.
True.
Who the fuck created this shit?
I mean, most of the time they are breeding dogs, you know, so I don't know. Where did you find these guys from? It looks like the Men in Black, honestly. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like the Men in Black. I can't with this one. See, this looks like it's been edited. I don't know, I'm not behind this. Y'all, let me know what y'all think.
My name is Luna, and I am a nationally registered advanced EMT here in the state of New Mexico. I am also transgender. I have responded to, by conservative estimates, about 1,500 calls for service. I have treated more transgender people than I can count.
You said you're an EMT. You're responding to a health emergency. Biological male is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, I think I'm having a miscarriage. Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
No.
Let me know what y'all think about that video.
Abortion was legal in this country for 40 years.
And crime dropped 40% after that.
Wait, hold on. Do you think abortion lowers crime rate?
Crime dropped 40% after abortion became legal.
Why is that the case?
It's called a statistic.
Who has the most abortions in America?
Women.
Black people. Is that so? Are you trying to say the termination of blacks in the womb or crime?
She didn't say that.
Racist argument.
Oh no, he twisted her words. That girl did not say that. She didn't say black woman. She said woman in general. That man twisted her words.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who actively feel victimized by your presence here today? Additionally, you just pointed out that this man detransitioned, but earlier in your speech,
I want to hear her. Go ahead. What do I have to say? Just the question, please. No speech. What is the question?
what do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
Do you identify as black?
No, it's a serious question because you might not identify.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Oh, young lady,
Calm down.
Listen to me.
and I'm about to answer my first question.
But I didn't finish my question.
Yeah, I'm black.
Less than 9% of the people in this room are black, and we're all not here for you. Do you
Okay.
think there are racial inequalities in America?
Unemployment is at an all-time low in the United States of America for Hispanic and black communities, and that's the truth.
That's
Matter of fact,
true.
overall unemployment is an all-time low. So if you want to break the pay gap or racial inequality gap, the most important thing is my parents taught me, who were black, born and raised down south, was about equality of opportunity, not equality of outcomes. I would challenge you to read the book by a black man by the name of Booker T. Washington called Up From Slavery.
Well, of course, if you want to wait and see if a side effect shows up, that takes 2 years. So, well, of course, if you...
We know what he's talking about. He's talking about the CVID, if you know what I mean. That there's always going to be a debate on, you know, if you should or shouldn't get the CVID. That's a whole discussion on its own. I'm not going to get into it. But let me know what y'all think.
Question, guys. Is it just me or do shit seem really, really weird? What I mean by that is time is speeding up. It don't feel like it's 24 hours in a day anymore.
It's true.
Food tastes fake as fuck, and the weather is crazy as all outdoors. In addition to that, it's like people walking around like zombies. Is it just me?
No.
Tap in.
It isn't just her. I do feel like time is going fast. We already know the food is being genetically modified. We already know that. It feels like we're going through some kind of shift. If you believe in that whole ideology of shift of energy, I feel like that.
Movie producer or something? I'm a biochemical engineer. Spent the past 9 years working with the U.S. military trying to understand and unlock the creative parts of the brain.
They want to make more creative soldiers.
Less. They don't
them to think for themselves. But to lock up the creative mind, we also have to understand how to unlock it. Did tons of research from certain highly creative people. Every one of them says the same thing. They don't know where it comes from. But I do. The occipital lobe. Talented people have denser, more numerous clusters of neurons in that area. I don't care if you are Bill fucking Shakespeare. Don't whack you hard enough in that part of your head. Never right again. So I started developing a drug to target that area. Made the neurons in that part of the brain fire at 10, 50, 1,000 times faster and more frequently than they usually do. Wow, did it work? We started testing on primates, and yeah, it worked. On some of the apes. The ones who tested higher on cognitive tests before we gave them medicine. Suddenly, they could play complex notes on the keyboard. So, what happened to the ones that didn't work on? They became highly aggressive, bloodthirsty. 20 other apes learned from them. I think the medicine has different effects on creative and non-creative people. It's almost like the non-creative ones can tolerate the lack of talent until they're confronted with it. Then their mediocrity drives them mad.
They put it right in our faces. If you know, you know, like they say.
When I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky, and then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay, and you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting.
The chemtrails he's talking about. We've all seen it. The people that are, I guess, woke, quote unquote. You know, you've seen like really odd things in the hood. In every hood, it can't be a coincidence. You got the same thing going on. You got the violence. You know, you had so much going on in the hood, and sometimes I used to be like, okay, what is really going on? Is it the food? Is it the air? You know, sometimes you just start to wonder on these things. So he was already woke at the time. Prince knew what was going on, you know, before his time.
To the woke on climate change.
I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational argument. A small minority, I accept. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational argument, so let me make one. We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in particular, and that issue is climate change. We're told that many of you suffer from climate anxiety. You wish to save the planet. And for tonight, and tonight only, I will join you. I will join you in worshipping at the feet of St. Greta of climate change. Let us all accept right here, right now, that we are living through a climate emergency and our stocks of polar bears are running extremely low. I join you in this view. I truly do. Now, what are we to do about this huge problem facing humanity? What can we in Britain do? We can only do one thing. You know why? This country is responsible for 2% of global carbon emissions, which means that if Britain was to sink into the sea right now, it would make absolutely no difference to the issue.
Only 2%.
You know why? Because the future of the climate is going to be decided in Asia and in Latin America.
That makes sense.
By poor people who couldn't give a shit about saving the planet. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's going to be decided by poor people in Asia and Latin America who don't care about saving the planet. You know why? Because they're poor.
True.
Because they're poor. I come from Russia, which is not a poor country, it's a middle-income country. 20% of households in Russia do not have an indoor toilet. What they have is an outdoor toilet. And I don't mean one of those nice portaloos that we get here. I don't even mean a Glastonbury portaloo. I mean a wooden shack with a hole in the ground that holds a collected fermented memory of the last 10,000 visits. How many of you are going to go home tonight and say, let's rip out our bathroom and erect a Siberian shithouse in the back garden? And if you're not, why should they? 120 million people in China do not have enough food. I don't mean that they don't get dessert. I mean they suffer from malnutrition. That means that their immune system is breaking down because they don't have enough food. You're not going to get them to stay poor. Imagine you're Xi Jinping, the leader of China. When you were 10 years old, there was a revolution, a cultural revolution in your country. And people came and they put your father in prison. Your mother had to denounce him. Your sister killed herself. And you, no longer enjoying the protection of your formerly powerful father, were sent to a village where you lived in a cave house. And here you are, decades later. You have clawed your way up the bloody and greasy pole of Chinese politics to be the undisputed supreme leader of the very Communist Party that destroyed your family. And you know that the main thing you have to do to survive and to stay in power is to deliver the one thing that the people of China want: prosperity, economic growth. Where do you think climate change ranks on Xi Jinping's list of priorities? A third of all children who live in extreme poverty in the world live in India. That means they're starving and dying of preventable disease. Now, about 15 months ago, my wife got pregnant. Not me, because we're old school.
It's hilarious. We're old school. He's speaking fast.
And for 9 months, we talked about what our boy would look like, what he might do when he grows up. We looked at baby scans and videos on YouTube about what the fetus looks like at 9 months and 12 months and 20 months. And eventually he was born. And he is this cute little bundle of joy. He's cuter than about 80% of puppies. Right. Now, if you said to me that I had a choice, either my son had a serious risk of starving or dying from a preventable disease in the next year, or I could press a button and he would live. He would go to school. He would bring his first girlfriend home. He'd go to university and graduate and become a woke idiot.
A woke idiot.
And then he'd get a job and get married and have children and become a man.
A woke idiot.
But all I have to do is press this button. And for every day of my son's life, a giant plume of CO2 is going to get released into the atmosphere. And you're all very young, and most of you are not parents. Let me tell you something. There is not a parent in the world who would not smash that button so hard their hand bled.
That's so true. He is completely right.
You are not going to get these people to stay poor. You're not even going to get them to not want to be richer. And so, I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one thing we can do in this country to stop climate change. And that is to make scientific and technological breakthroughs that will create the clean energy that is not only clean, but also cheap. And no, thank you. And I want everyone to get home on time today, which is not going to happen. And the only thing that wokeness has to offer in exchange is to brainwash bright young minds like you to believe that you are victims, to believe that you have no agency, to believe that what you must do to improve the world is to complain, is to protest, is to throw soup on paintings. And we on this side of the House are not on this side of the House because we do not wish to improve the world. We sit on this side of the House because we know that the way to improve the world is to work, is to create, it is to build.
He's right.
And the problem with woke culture is that it's trained too many young minds like yours to forget about that. Thank you very much.
That's sad. You know, when you think about climate change, it's always been a debate about, oh, you know what, we can't do much, or there's pretty much nothing to do. I mean, he just broke it down for us. There's always something to do. If we come up with cheap technological breakthroughs that we all can take a part of, we all can partake in, there's always something for everyone to do. And what's crazy is most of the things he was saying is common sense, but that's rare nowadays. You really don't see anyone putting this much effort, into a discussion. So.
I eat children.
What?
How are you?
They're joking about this. They're joking about this.
Children and pineapple. I eat children.
I don't know. I find it weird. Like I feel like most of these celebrities joke about kids and eating kids and drinking blood. Oh, I don't know. I just find that strange. I mean, that's nothing to joke around about. I mean, I don't find that funny. That's creepy.
So, now as your soul is transcending this planet, nigga, most souls look into the light. It's the only light they see. You know what I'm saying? And they taught you in religion to go into the light your whole life. So if you was a true believer and had faith in any religion, right, you gonna hold that in your soul, nigga. So when you see that light, nigga, you like, oh, that's heaven. You gonna float into that motherfucker, nigga. And they gonna guide him, snatch your ass up, bring you in, put you in a little container like this with dark matter energy, bolts around it to restrict your dark matter energy from leaving it. And then they take your soul and they bleach it of all its memories. And then they redirect it back down to this planet again, because they know that once they come down here, you're going to step into a new avatar. Alright? When women are pregnant, there is no life form in it. There's no life force, no soul is in that body until the water break. There's no soul in the body of that baby until the water break. When you pregnant and the baby, you think the baby moving, ain't the baby moving. Remember, you full of water. So any object underwater that's moving around is knocking against something, it's going to float and bang against shit. And these scientists don't want to tell you the truth about you, nigga. They hid us from us because we the grand creators. So they got you thinking the whole time the baby is no. The soul, listen, the baby can't say he wants the soul into that body. That's why your water break, goddess. Soon as that soul, that whole 9 months, your body, your avatar is being used to grow the avatar of that new soul. Your avatar, all right, is being used, and his semen is being used to create a new avatar. You're preparing a new avatar for a new soul to drive in to ride in while it's in this realm.
Real quick, when a woman and man procreate, you have a baby. But then again, when you think about it, this is just a meat suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a vessel. If you guys, if for my Bible believers, him explaining that kind of opens your mind to what is possible, because no one has ever died and came back and told anyone about it. So it's something to think about.
This reality, all right? Because you can't walk in this reality with your astral body. It's rules to the universe, nigga. As above, so below, it's laws to every realm in reality. Just like you can't take this body into the physical realm. You gotta take your astral body.